Hi friends, and welcome back to the Crafty Motato. I am Mo, the Crafty Potato, and I have a problem. My fabric stash is far too large. What you're seeing now is just my cottons. I have an entire other stash of old curtains and home decor fabrics. Thus, I present a new series on my channel I'm calling Stashed Potatoes. In this series, I will make a project using only things I already have. That includes fabrics, patterns, threads, notions, whatever. I must already have it on hand. No last-minute running to the fabric store. So for my first foray into this series, I figured I'd just start at the top of the stash and use these old curtains I got at an antique mall. This bundle was sold to me just like this, and came with this pretty fabric with embroidered roses that I think I'll use for ruffles. That's right, ruffles. I'm thinking something frilly, fluffy, and just something that shouts springtime. So I'm going to use this pattern that I'm pretty sure Simplicity doesn't make anymore. I've had it for a while. I'm also going to need some other contrasts. Let's see what else I can find in my stash. Oh, these old quilting cottons will go quite nicely, I think. How long have these even been in my stash? I remember buying them when they were new in the store. 2007? Jeez, you can see why I need this series. But before I can get to cutting out the fabric, I have a bit of work to do on these curtains. I'm going to need every scrap, which means I get to unpick all these old seams from their intended use as curtains. Oh boy, seam ripping. My favorite. Okay then, that took a million years. Now that we have all of our fabric, let's finally take a look at this pattern. It is always best practice to read your pattern instructions very, very carefully. But who has time for that? I'll just do what I always do, fly by the seat of my pants and hope for the best. I'm sure it'll be fine. Now, cutting! are two schools of thought on how to return your unused pattern pieces to its sleeve. The easy way, and the way you do it after you learning that the easy way is a great way to lose your patterns. And now, the very precise and accurate method for cutting ruffles. Sorry. Ta-da! 5-inch ruffles. So I went ahead and pre-washed all my fabric, and sadly, the next step is one I cannot avoid any longer, and yet loathe with my entire being. Once everything is pressed, I can begin cutting out the pieces. Sadly, because this fabric is secondhand, there are a few holes I'll need to work around. Nothing a bit of creative cutting can't solve. What are you doing in here? How did you even get upstairs? We've lived in this house for 4 years. This is the first time you've ever come upstairs. Disney, you're showing everybody how messy my craft room is. You know you're not allowed up here. It's just a big party in here now. How am I supposed to get things done? Delphi, you're on my pattern. Okay, girls, I guess we're done for today. Day 2 begins with serging. This step isn't strictly necessary, so if you don't have an overlocking machine, that's okay. I am, however, out of overlocking thread, and since I'm not allowing myself to buy anything new for this project, I'll just rethread the machine with a matching color from my thread hoard. Life hack for you, the easiest way to rethread your serger is to just tie a knot between your old thread and the new thread, then make a few stitches and let the old thread pull the new thread through the machine. Here's another very important step. Fully cut out and serge a full set of blue ruffles and then decide you don't need them. Instead, I'm just going to use this rose fabric and this pretty pink fabric as ruffles. I just need to hem them. All 600 inches of them. Now, to gather my absurd length of ruffles, I'm going to use an old costuming trick. I'm going to take a thick upholstery weight thread and run it the entire length of my ruffles as I zigzag stitch on top of the upholstery thread. Then I'll just pull the upholstery thread and it'll cinch up, gathering the fabric together. Now, all I must do is sew the sides together. And don't forget the pocket! Yes, madam. And now you want out again. Are you sure you're not a cat? To make the bodice, I first need to attach the backs together. For these ruffle bits, the pattern calls for ruffled trim, which I don't have, so I'm going to make some using this contrast fabric. Now I just have to sew it together and ruffle it, and I'll have ruffled trim. And then I'm going to use the same ruffling trick for the ruffle trim. I think a bit of magic to finish up the front. There we go. But sadly, no amount of magic can save me from more ironing. So, you remember how I said I didn't need the directions? I'm sure it'll be fine. Well, off camera, I went ahead and attached the facings to the back and the front, only I haven't put on the sleeves yet, so more seam ripping. Now, I just need to gather the sleeve flounces and attach them. Now I just need to sew the bodice to the skirt and add some finishing touches like buttons and lace. When you're sewing lots of thick layers together, it's very easy to accidentally catch your fabric. This is frustrating, but just take things slow, and if you do mess up, keep your seam ripper handy. I caught my fabric 3 or 4 times in sewing all this together. And with that, my garment is complete. If you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. There's over 300 of you now, which is crazy to me, so thank you all so much for subscribing. If you want, you can also like this video and comment and, do all the YouTube things. I'm sorry this video was a little bit late, but I have a lot of health issues and there might be some months that I need to skip. I'll do my best to let you guys know. If you'd like, you can support me on Patreon or on Ko-fi, both of which links are in the description. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. And for now, this is the Crafty Motato and Disney signing off.